I mean, you come on to Invincible. I mean, okay, how did you get called on to do Invincible? Because I guess um yeah, I guess for some of us, I mean, because you were, you know, goodness, as I said, one of my favorite tracks by you is "I Can Love You." I just love the
Uh,
dun 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 dun. Then had Little Kim's rap on it. I love "Share My World's" my favorite Mary album, and
yeah,
your production on that is just unreal. Um, but I'll come back to those ones. But I wanted to get to Invincible. How did you get the call to actually,
I had to. I was at my mom. I was at my mom and dad's house, and I had a dream. I was literally sleeping on that couch, and I had a dream that I was on my way to the studio, and it was all glass. And I looked as I drove to the studio. I looked up in the glass, and it was Michael with a red shirt on, and I was going to work with Michael. And I woke up from sleep telling my mom and dad the dream. The phone rings an hour later. And at the time I had maybe like one of the biggest records out was Say My Name with Destiny's Child. And I get a call from Carol Bear Sager. And
Okay.
Carol Bear Sager says, Ronnie, I'm a big fan of you and I love this song. And I wondered if you would be interested in writing with me and Michael Jackson. And I'm like, I was just dreaming. I was working with Michael 30 minutes ago, like literally. And she goes, I said, when? I was like, when? And she goes, I don't know when yet, but I'm in LA. Where are you? I said, I'm in Jersey, but I'm going to get on a plane and come to LA and I'll just wait until you're ready. And I did. I got on a plane, went to LA, checked myself in a hotel, and I just waited until she called me back. And then she called me and she said, can you come tomorrow to my house? And the next day I was driving to her house, got through the gate, and as I went up that hill, she had this little guest house studio, and I looked and I could see coming through the window Michael with a red shirt on, just like my dream. And I walked in there and I said, I had a dream about this whole experience. And I sat down at the piano and we were just like, he was just singing melodies and I was playing it for, I think he was just wanting to get to know me. And then at the end of it, he said, will you commit yourself to working with me? And I said, absolutely. He goes, you really got to dig deep if you're going to work with me. And I said, I'm with it. He goes, what do you need? And I said, I need my team with me. I need my team out here in LA. He said, okay, I'm going to have my assistant reach out and get you everything you need, the studio you need. He said, we're going to be spending the next year working on my project. And that was it. And next thing you know, we just became really good friends. Like me and Michael, we built an incredible, beyond the music, like just a friendship, just a brotherhood. And yeah, and that was it, man.
Did he remember you from the Teddy incident? Did he remember that, or did you remind him about that?
I reminded him, and he was like, "Really?" Like he almost. I don't think he really remembered that experience.
So,
and by the way, that wasn't that far apart. You got to remember, I started working with Michael when I was 21.
Yeah, because the album came out 2001, so you guys would have started around. Was it 2000?
I started working with Michael in 1999 March.
Oh goodness!
No, actually, I'm sorry. My first session with him that day was in February. Because I still have the cassette tape. That was in February 1999. I wasn't even 22 yet. I was 21.
Wow.
And so you're talking about literally a 4 to 5 year span.
Yeah.
It wasn't that much. It's crazy to me how fast that happened.
What did you? Because as I said, I'm a massive Michael fan. I bought the album the day it was released, and Rock My World was like, Remember the Time, but in Unbreakable and Invincible, I would have thought should have been, that's just me as a Michael fan, would have been bigger and more
Unbreakable. Unbreakable was Michael's favorite song.
Yeah.
Off the album. And Threaten. Actually, Unbreakable and Threaten was Michael's favorite song off the album. Rock My World was everybody's favorite song within the realms of the company, everybody, like, from a song perspective. not a track and all of that, but from a actual song, beginning to end song. The plan was, before, you know, things got sticky between him and Sony, the plan was Rock My World, Butterflies, Unbreakable, short film, Threatened, short film, and then Break of Dawn. That was the plan Michael had. I saw he showed it to me. Like that, he had it all mapped out what he was going to do. And then right after Rock My World, even before Rock My World came out, is when the Sony and Michael thing kind of just went from, it just started. It was going like that the whole project, to be honest, but it really, once the song, right before the song came out, it really just kind of just became this separation, and of course it doesn't do any of us no good, because then we don't get to see the genius in its full entirety, right? Because all the stuff that he was telling us that he was going to do, he didn't do. Because it happened. And I was like, he was telling me, I remember him telling me about the short film he was going to do for Unbreakable, and how he was going to have Biggie, like before there was like
a hologram or something?
Yeah, before that was even happening, he was going to do it. Like there wasn't even, nobody's talking about holograms like that, and then he was already talking about that.
I wish that was his first single, because it's you know, it's like
because naturally it should have been Unbreakable first.
Yeah,
and then you come back with, you know,
then Rock My World, because
yeah. So because it's more urgent, it's more impactful and urgent, like out the box. Yeah,
and then it would have surprised us that Biggie was on it, but
I agree.
The beat is just I mean, yes, I was, because as I said, I loved Rock My World, just like, because even remember the time, if it came out first, I mean, the video was great, but you needed that sort of black and white sort of to, you know, as a pop sort of thing. But then
I don't know now, because I also feel like, from what we're talking about from that perspective, is 100% correct if you look at it from that perspective.
Yeah.
But because of what happened, we might not have got to Rock My World, and we might not have got to Chris Tucker and Michael Jackson and that historical moment between those two happening, right? Because it was one and done. When Rock My World came out, he didn't even have a video for Butterflies. Yeah. You know what I mean? When you think about it, like there was no video for it because they shut it all down. And so I don't know, you know, I've learned that whatever God has, God has. Yeah. And I don't fret about it, but I do agree with you, like from, like, if you had to really look at it from that perspective, and how it go boom, 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 boom.
Yeah,
and totally.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the powerful stuff. I mean, then, because you laid the foundation, but then were you surprised that, because then I know I think one of my issues with Invincible, that he probably had 3 or 4 songs that are too many, that probably
too many. Too many. And actually we were all kind of shocked by that, because when we were making the album, he kept on saying, I'm only going to have 10 to 11 songs.
That would have been amazing.
He kept saying that the whole time. So then when other songs started popping up at the end, you know, I'm not going to mention them, but there were songs that we know that just shouldn't have been on, and you know those songs as well.
Yeah.
It was just like, why is this going on here? It doesn't need to be on this. It doesn't
need to be.
But maybe at that point in his life, he had relationships with, you know, the songwriters and producers, and he felt like it was a way, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Okay.
You know, but I just was like, it went from, you know, being 10, 11 to like 15, 16, and it didn't have to.
Yeah. If they had cut out 4 or 5 songs, it would have just been such a solid album. I mean, I love Butterflies. I mean, and Break of Dawn was nice, but there were some others that I just thought, and that's probably just, I mean, as a fan, I'd listened to the whole thing, but I just thought it would have been just nice and succinct and stuff. Yeah. John Marie said, you know, he was working. He brought, you know, it must have been interesting getting him involved with you. You know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because like one of my things was, when we first started working on Michael, I felt like I needed someone who lived that experience because I was so young and I wanted to know like someone, whether it was, you know, I knew I couldn't have Bruce Sweeney at my beck and call in the beginning. But I needed someone who lived the Michael experience. So I called John Marie, and then John Marie actually called Bernard Bell. And
wow.
And man, we were doing, John Marie would tell you, we were mixing demos. We had orchestras. We had orchestra on demos. We had full orchestra and working on, I remember we were doing a song called Privacy, and we had a full orchestra on the demo. Full orchestra with LaShawn Daniels singing the demo and a full orchestra.
My goodness.
Yep, and John Marie was fully mixing the demos, like full on mix days for the demos. Unbelievable.
Was that the biggest project you've worked on? I mean, because I know you've done so much stuff with Gaga and so many other people, but being on such a big Michael project, is that one of those sort of things that you it's a benchmark for as a producer just doing, especially if you're doing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tracks?
That's Michael Jackson. There's nobody bigger. Nobody. I don't care what anybody says, and no one bigger. That's a monumental moment for sure.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe and turn on the notification button, but also check out our membership offers where you can actually watch all these videos as soon as they're released, especially without any of those YouTube ads. But thanks again for watching and being part of the Halftime Chat community.